So this is a test of a scissor hoist. These guys claim that they can make a scissor hoist that can move faster than any telescopic hoist and lift just as much as the beefiest telescopic hoist you can find. And these guys also make end dumps, pups. These guys make some of the biggest, baddest trailers around. But we came to Canada because we're going to test out their claims. So our plan is to severely overload this trailer and see exactly what it can and can't do.
We got to load that dump trailer up to about 23,000 pounds.
Okay.
Are you guys able just to load us up and then we'll just dump it back? We're just doing some testing for Southland trailers. Yeah, and then we'll just run over the scale and see how close we can get to 23,000 pounds. Okay. And then we'll max it out.
Okay. What kind of trailer is that the same one? Oh,
It's a dump trailer, spec dump, yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to pull on the scale or anything first, or just kind of go around it?
Well, it's up to you if you want to pull on to see what kind of net weight you have on there.
Sure.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to get the empty weight.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, just pick whatever bin you want to get loaded with, and
Sure. Okay.
we'll throw it on.
Throw it on and do that.
But yeah, if you want to pull on first, we'll get an empty weight.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks so much.
There's our scale. Now that's in kilograms, so we won't know what the hell it actually means. Maybe one of you Canadians that watch this, could convert it over for us, Here's our empty weight, right there. So we're gonna put 13.5 ton on a dump trailer just to see how well it does. So how big is that bucket on that loader?
5.5 yard bucket.
5.5, all right. So we're putting 13.5 ton on a dump trailer just to see if it can dump it. That is more than 13 ton.
Oh yeah. I think that's severely overloaded, but I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. Let's go weigh her. Look at the tires.
I know.
They're crying. They're crying right there. All right, let's see what we got on the scale. $19,000 pounds. Kilograms, not pounds, kilograms.
774 pounds.
Wait, what is it?
26,774 pounds.
So 13.2 ton.
So that's 19,070 minus 6,900 times 2.2 pounds per kilogram.
There's our calculation. Okay. Yeah, don't turn yet. And we're gonna test that first one out right now. Look at that tires. The tires are crying. Help me, help me. All right, Trevor, what did we just see?
We just came to the gravel yard just to test this out. So this is our 16-foot dump trailer, tandem 12K. So we are 30,000 pound gross weight of this trailer. The trailer weighs about 7K, so we came down here to put 23,000 pounds of gravel in the back. And we just dumped 23,000 pounds of gravel right back into the gravel yard.
Tell me about the hoists though, because this is, you guys do this a little different?
You just got to go big. You know, people say you got to have people say it's not enough strength, it's not going to work. You just need a bigger hoist. 15 tons, power up, power down, champion hoist, gets the job done.
Okay, why not a telescopic hoist?
This becomes part of the structure underneath the trailer. So this box is not going to rock left and right, it's not going to shift. This adds stability, it adds strength, it gives you an easy dump, simple, and enough power to get it done. And power up and power back down again. You get to the job site, you dump, you pull it back down, and you hit the road.
Okay, and we're gonna go look at how you build not just this, but your end dumps.
All of it.
All of it, because they're built side by each.
Yep, 100%. You'll see them all in the factory. We're going to run through there. We're going to see exactly how we put this together.
Awesome. All right, let's go to the factory next and see exactly what they do.
The person that buys this, they get paid for what they deliver. We've talked about this. They get paid for what they leave behind at whatever job site, not paid for what they're dragging around. So what the trailer weighs versus what it can dump is where the money is.
But you build this exactly the same, in the same factory,
100%.
side by each.
Yep.
So you guys do this straight down the center, so that
That's sill design, so those two long running beams that run the length of the box distribute the weight evenly across the box. You're going to see that in every one of our trailers.
So this is what we're talking about. It doesn't matter how big or how little, it's the same design. This and this is the magic that makes this happen. Is that right?
And it isn't that this trailer is built different. You have a dump trailer, and we looked at that, and you said it's, I don't know, 20 years old, I think you said, and it has that same design underneath it. The commercial industry's been using that design for a lot of years. We just carried it right over into the rest of our dump trailers.
So let's walk down here, because you're saying every single thing dump trailer you make is built identical. It doesn't make a difference what size it is.
100%. You know, they're getting smaller and lighter, but we use the same technology in every one. So we started with the big gooseneck at 30,000 pounds. We start to work our way down. You'll see the scissor hoist, the tube steel, the sill design underneath the box. We've got the adjustable front coupler is on every one of them. There's ramp and tarp and spare tires on everything. Every trailer is made exactly the same way. We're just getting a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller all the way down to our little 5-wide dump trailer, scissor hoist, aluminum toolbox, adjustable front coupler, sill design, tarp and ramps. I mean, this is a real working, crazy little dump trailer with 11,440 gross vehicle weight in a 5-foot by 10-foot dump.
Probably the most overbuilt,
ridiculously heavy duty, very small dump trailer on the market.
So I actually want to go inside the factory. Is there any way we can pop inside of the factory?
Yeah, you betcha. We'll walk right through it, you bet. Have a look at this. Every one of these trailers, when you look at the back end of them, they'll be almost identical in their design. The slam latch, the ramps underneath, tucked up underneath.
Slam latches here, ramps tucked up underneath.
All of them come with Drop leg jacks when you're loading and unloading for stability, every one of them from 5 wide all the way up to the big one.
And your paint process?
Exactly the same paint process as yours. We use the wet paint with the blast profile again. We'll look at all of that when we get into the factory. We'll look at the paint process and everything on all of them. Wet paint right from the start to the finish.
So your wet paint process is the same kind of a paint process that Ford uses on their pickup trucks.
100%.
Right?
Yep.
It's not powder coat.
Not powder coat.
We covered it in the cargo trailer video we did, but let's go back and revisit that just to make sure that guys understand this process, because it's a very unique process.
Yeah. If powder coating was a good idea, then your truck would be powder coated. I mean, we don't do it. We use wet paint, so we...
Do you wet paint even your biggest ones?
Yeah. This one here, I mean, very commercial. This is about as commercial as you can get. And absolutely, this is the very same wet paint process on this. You'll see it when we're in the tour. You'll see these trailers coming out the door right next to those.
Awesome. All right, well, let's go do that right now. All right, so TJ, you're like the head engineer here, right?
Oh, I'm the head coach, not the engineer.
What does that mean? I guess I don't know.
So we have, instead of managers, we call them coaches. So we have assistant coaches, kind of guys that sit underneath me. Then we have head coaches, and we have plant managers, so above us.
And you have what you call, I've never heard this before, 2 pizza rule.
2 pizza rule. So basically, we need to make sure that to properly manage people, we follow what I call a 2 pizza rule. So basically, I can't have any more than what 2 pizzas would feed for people working underneath of me.
So that's 8 people.
So about 6 to 8 people. So I can't be directly in charge of more than 8 people, let's say.
Okay, why?
You can't effectively manage, we figure you can't effectively manage more than that. Especially younger guys. We find that our process kind of, it tailors to younger people. Building, they love the MIG welding aspect of it. They love, but MIG welding is more of an introduction to welding process.
So you found your ultimate efficiency is 1 coach for 6 to 8 people.
That's
and
right.
Your whole company is basically based on the same principle. So for every 8 people, there's 1 guy that's doing quality control, answering questions, solving problems, putting out fires, keeping those guys operating at maximum capacity and maximum efficiency.
That's correct. Performance reviews.
And you have the 3P principle too.
The 3P principle, yeah. So we always talk product, process, people, process, product. So a lot of companies will put product first. We like to put people first. So it's people, then our process, then our product. You have great people, you have great processes, the product just comes naturally. It doesn't matter if you're building pencils or trailers, you're gonna get great product if you have great people.
So you empower your people to become the absolute best they possibly can. You find that that's the most productive way to get the best out of your people.
That's correct.
And then you allow them to refine the process. So everybody in this company does what is a 5S principle. So they all get hyper-focused, hyper-organized to their own stations. They develop and create their own workstations.
That's correct.
And then, so that's the process. And then the product comes naturally.
The natural progression of the product. The product looks beautiful because the people care about the process and their workplace. They're happy to come to work.
You guys employ 430 people.
446 now.
You pump out 1,100 trailers a month.
That's correct.
And boom, Bob's your uncle.
In our process, every trailer you're going to look at is going to be built exactly the same way. Up behind me here, you see the robotics working, welding the trailers. When you look at a trailer, you can line up 100 of these, and every weld is going to be in exactly the same place on every trailer. Across the floor, across the tailgates, you're going to see it the same because of the process.
So TJ, actually what we cannot show you is behind the blue curtain, because you work with engineers from Japan, and you created a robotic welding system that no one in North America has.
That's correct.
And we're not allowed to show you because you built that with them.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Just again, the aggregation of marginal gains. That's what I teach here. So small improvements over the course of time. So it took me about 4 or 5 years to come up with a design. The first design I came up with, the guys in Japan wanted nothing to do with it. They weren't going to sell me robots if I was going to put it where that was. So me talk, more refinement. Finally, we got to a place here where we're like, hey, this design works, and now we have it rolling.
And you actually have it down to a science where every square foot, you actually have a measure where every square foot is amount of revenue that it can produce.
That's correct.
Inside of this building. So you have redesigned and redesigned and redesigned this building until you've maximized the amount of productivity per square foot per capita for the company. Is that right?
That's correct. We're continually improving. So today is just here. Tomorrow we'll be here. We're always improving in the future. I don't know what the future looks like with the improvements we do. So,
but you're not just the one doing it, and you're not just the one doing it. Everybody in this plant has a part of the process.
Right.
Everybody can go, I see this as an improvement. And you actually, you don't talk it, you audit them.
That's right.
Every individual in this company faces an audit situation where they've got to refine and improve their process. And it's an open door. They can make any changes they want.
Because it makes their life so much easier. Instead of walking all the way across the plant and all the way back again looking for my hammer, we've engineered that out, and the guys will say, my life would be better if. Great. What would that look like? Let's do it.
Yeah, you got it down to a workstation. Well, let's go look at a workstation. Here's their auditing process. Their workstations before, after, auditing, everything. Their workstations are all labeled and organized. Every individual takes pride in it. All 446 people here.
you can see this was August 2nd. This is something that's just actually on the other side of this block right here. This is an improvement we did. It just looks better. It's more organized. It's cleaner looking. It allows us to do our cleanup better. Right over here is that exact same improvement. It wasn't done by me. It was empowered by my people. They came up with that idea to put it here. I don't know what makes their job fastest. They know.
Right.
I mean, let's look at a workstation. So this is a very typical workstation. Everything is labeled: grinder, face shield. Everything is labeled and organized everywhere you look. There is zero chaos. I have never seen, the only manufacturing process I've seen that is as good as this is Volvo in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, where they manufacture their payload. And that's incredible. And this is right there with them. That's like walking into a hospital. This is like walking into, I don't know how to describe this.
That's the beauty of continuous improvement. It's Kaizen after Kaizen after Kaizen.
Yeah.